I realise in all the Vallee Blanche videos I've given you, I've not once shown you the classic, the OG, most frequented line down the Vallee Blanche. So that's what I'm going to do today. Hopefully, assuming my camera works, I'm going to film the whole thing in real time, top to bottom, so you can see just how quickly it can be done when you know where you're going and the conditions are optimal. I brought my microphone as well, so hopefully I'll be able to give you a running commentary. And yes, it is April, and yes, I really am about to ski the Vallee Blanche in shorts. And we're off. I always carry axe and crampons whenever I'm coming up here, but the vast majority of the time when the handrails are in and the zigzags cut, I don't need them. But you should absolutely use them if this is your first time doing the Vallee Blanche, or indeed any time doing the Vallee Blanche if you're not a confident alpinist. And of course, if in doubt, you can do this bit roped up as well. I love doing this in the afternoon when there's no one here. You can basically just run down the Arete. Conditions underfoot are very friendly right now. Nice sugary snow. I guarantee you will not be doing this quickly, but I've done this thousands of times. Most people will go all the way down there to the col to gear up. I'm going to strap in up here and crack on once I find a suitable stance. This will do. That's a nice little alpinist trick I did just there, stowing your poles or ice axe just underneath your shoulder strap in your bag, rather than putting them away in the actual straps of your bag. Just much quicker and easier to get everything out. Just need to put my boots into ski mode. Take a few seconds. Of course, you want to do as much faff as possible while you're here, sorting out your boots, so if you need to de-layer, which you probably will. It's often windy on the Arete, but really warm and sunny once you're out of the wind down here, and do that here as well. Sort out your gear. If you've got any faster gear you need to get ready, and then just about ready to go. As always, put your downhill ski on first, much easier and safer. Et voila. like I say, most people will be starting the ski descent from that col just there. But if the snow was good, I'd be skiing down this slope here. So if you are doing the classic, this bit here is probably the most technical bit of the whole descent. The rest of it is much more mellow. So if you can ski that bit, then you'll be comfortable skiing it all. So it's a nice little thing to gauge your ability. Most of the other itineraries head off to my left. They're all a lot more adventurous and more technical. But the classic got a nice long traverse around here. So when the snow's deep, you don't want to keep all your speed up along here, otherwise you're going to get stuck. And this is not a fun way to go on a snowboard. But when the snow's like this, it's basically a piece, so you'll be fine. Take the opportunity while you're cruising along to marvel at this amazing view. So you've got the true Vallee Blanche down to my left there. I think the classic actually follows the Glacier du Tacul in this upper section. Whatever it is, it's not actually technically the Vallee Blanche, which goes down that way. This may look super benign. When the snow's like this, it is about as safe as glacier skiing gets, but there are still huge crevasses under my feet here. So early and late season, you do still need to be really careful. By the looks of things, there's a crevasse just there, opening up already. This bit's always hard work in good snow, but right now, made it barely needing to do any poling. Ooh, crevasse just there. Always keep your eyes peeled. If you want a slightly steeper option, then head down to the right here. More mellow, off to the left. Definitely when there's good snow, this is the better option to the right here. Again, right now, it's basically skiing like a beast. I think my boot's gone into walk mode. Yep. It's always a pain in the ass. There we go. Just skied most of that in walk mode in one boot. One of the popular variations of the classic heads uphill slightly to the left there and hugs the big rock, the Gros Rognon. That gives a really nice steep powder pitch round to the left. I say steep, it's still relatively friendly, but just steeper than what I'm skiing now. At this time of year, this is basically ski anywhere terrain. There are crevasses of course, but not that big here, and they're all well filled in. So you want to stick to the classic, but still make it a little bit steeper, just head slightly left. When the snow is nice and friendly like this, any confident intermediate skier should be able to ski the CLASSIC Vallee Blanche without any problems. But you still do absolutely need a guide, or at least going with a friend who knows where they're going. Because again, it looks benign, but this is extreme high mountain terrain with all the hazards that go along with it. Again, you can ski all the way down to the flat there, but it's preferable to stay a little bit higher up here, avoid some of those crevasses. Now, as you can see on my left here, when there's fresh snow, you get some pretty nice mellow powder turns down that. Got the Col du Geant up there, one of the most iconic peaks anywhere in the Alps. Ooh. Snow's getting really buttery now. Just gonna cut down on that flat terrain. It is about 2 PM now, so pretty late in the afternoon, hence why the snow is getting so soft. I have missed that sweet spot by maybe an hour today, I think. Ooh. I may be here on my own today, but I'm still geared up for glacier travel. Got my harness on, got my lanyard attached to my rucksack, got all my other glacier gear just in case. I might not have any friends here to rescue me. If I fall in, there's a possibility some random person will see me and they'll be able to rescue me. Or if not, at the very least, I'll get winched out by the helicopter. If you're doing this for your first time, you probably have stopped by about 5 or 6 times already by this point. Just to marvel at the views, really. Enjoy the scenery, get your bearings, and just take it nice and leisurely. You are going to want to practice some mogul skiing before heading down here if you're an intermediate skier, because you're guaranteed to encounter some moguls at some point, even if you're doing it first tracks on a powder day. Ooh, need to rest my feet for a second. Get some blood back in my toes. So just to the left of the rock here, that's the Gross Rognon variation of the Classic. Virtually every other itinerary comes down further to the left here. Got the True Vallee Blanche, Petit Vert, Grand Vert, and many variations thereof. All come down through this amazing terrain through here. So when the snow's good, that's my favourite line. Basically picking away through all these crevasses and seracs up there. Much more involved. Still not super technical, but you have to thread your way through the needle in a few places. So you need to be confident with your skiing ability. Able to turn on a sixpence. And over to the right there, that's the Valley Noir. So you can do that either by skinning up from this side or by starting at the Skyway. And as that's north facing, the snow stays good over there much longer than it does on this side. But it's been quite a few days since the last snowfall now, so actually today you're better off skiing on the sunny side over here where it's nice and slushy. Especially at this time of year. The sun's getting strong already. Just approaching the infamous mogul field now, above the Manger. Again, depending on snow conditions, this may well be the most difficult part. If you found the other bit straightforward, you should be okay with this though. It's not difficult, it's just hard work. Normally to do the Classic, you just continue down this gully left of all the crevasses and seracs, but let's make this a little bit more interesting. Earlier in the season, you wouldn't be able to ski through here, it'd be an absolute minefield, but right now, it's definitely viable. Still, be careful though. Look, I'm on a crash right there. Play it safe again, as I'm here on my own. This mogul's getting pretty big now. Luckily it's not too steep. Man, I'm warm. I'm in shorts and a shirt. have to take these gloves off, my hands are cooking. Just attach them to my harness just in case I need them again. A bit better. So that's the Rewired hut you can just about see up there. So quite a lot of people will stop there for lunch or even spend the night there if they want to enjoy the sunset. Got a very crucial snow bridge coming up here. Very harassed. Oh, I'm going to take the lower option today, looks a bit safer. Oh, see, crevasses everywhere. Early in the next season, this bit can be very difficult. Lots of people end up falling in that crevasse just there. So this is the salle à manger, the dining room, although you won't want to stop here for your lunch these days. There's too much of a risk of both avalanches from up onto my left and srackfall from the glacier. And in front of me up there, that's the approach you need to take if you're wanting to do the Brèche Puceau, a classic ski mountaineering itinerary. Skiing all the way up this face, and it climbs quite a long 45-degree couloir up onto the ridgeline. Really impressive setting, amazing journey, and quite a big day. Last time I did that, we missed the lift, had to walk all the way down. Should have kept some more speed up here. More moguls coming up, but not as extreme this time. I am skiing this reasonably fast, but I'm not absolutely charging. You can see I'm not out of breath. This is still quite a leisurely pace. I'm just not stopping. Oop. Let's go down here. Lots of different interesting ways through the various little crevasses and seracs there. Relatively safe to go explore. There aren't too many big holes there, just big ridges. And that's virtually all the difficulty over. Basically just cruising along the Mer de Glace now. So again, want to keep as much speed as possible here. It's easier said than done if it's deep powder, or right now if it's slushy. Like I say, I've missed that sweet spot by maybe an hour, so this is getting very sticky. Keeps grabbing my skis. So I don't want to absolutely straight line it. Might end up face planting. Ooh. He's obviously got better wax in his skis than I have. So have they. Oh, really sticky. I usually would have tucked along that bit so I could keep going along here, but right now I'm having to skate. This is the de facto salle à manger now. This is the best place to stop for lunch. Over to the right here on the rocks. Out the firing line of any avalanches and serac falls. Obviously not these rocks right here. These rocks have fallen from up there, which is a good sign not to hang around here. But that ridge in the middle was much safer. Ooh. for the first shark of the day. It won't be the last. But where some of these moguls are actually rocks. That's a big rockfall somewhere on the moraine. Can't see it, I heard it. Another bit, you want to keep as much speed up as possible. But again, the snow keeps grabbing at my skis, throwing me forward, so I don't want to tuck, otherwise I'll face plant. Oh, you can see. Keep getting thrown forwards as the snow grabs at my skis. Oh. And again. That cool canyon you might have seen people skiing through all over on Instagram is just to the right there, but it's much less cool than it used to be. I did it a couple of years ago. It was a lot narrower, a lot more interesting, but it's melted out so much now that it's still worth visiting, but it's much wider, much straighter. So I shan't bother today. On colder snow, this lower section below the Manger will be over in no time. But with this warm, sticky, slushy snow, it's taking me much longer than it normally would. It can get very sharky through here now. Currently the snow conditions, snow cover is pretty good, but more and more sharks will be emerging every single day. Which is why I'm on these big, heavy, bulky skis. These are my designated Vallee Blanche skis, because you can ski for absolutely anything with them. They're absolute tanks. The best way through this lower part of the glacier changes every year, and indeed sometimes day to day. Especially after fresh snow, it's always good to let a few other people go first, find the way, put the track in. Although there's no guarantee that they know where they're going, but probably a guide will be in there somewhere finding the right way. Hypothetically, if you were to try and ski all the way down to Chamonix, you keep going down to the right there and pick your way through that absolute mess of the moraine now. But of course, that's not been possible for probably at least a month. But to get back to Montanvert and take the gondola, you need to cross this moraine ridge over to the left, and there's a little gully, which you'll see in a second, which holds the snow well into spring. Even if you have to walk over this moraine, there's usually a good line of snow just over here. It's much better since they built the new gondola here. In days gone by, you had to be able to ski probably another 500 metres or so further along the valley, and then you had those thousands and thousands of steps to get up to the old gondola. This is a breeze in comparison. So this gully on my left here is what you're going to aim for later in the season, to be able to follow the snow all the way to the gondola. You usually pick your way through there somewhere. Yep, still skiable through there, and that'll hold snow for most of the season. Oop. Watch out for the rocks. And here we are, end of the road. Hope the camera's still working, and the microphone. So there you have it, CLASSIC Vallee Blanche in real time, top to bottom, non-stop. The time on the camera said 39 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was recording the whole thing. Obviously that includes a little bit of faff at the start, put my bag on. But yeah, let's call it about 35 minutes, top to bottom, non-stop. Could be done much quicker than that in less sticky snow. But yeah, there you are. If you know what you're doing, you know where you're going. It's a pretty short trip. It's definitely worth hanging out for a bit down here, exploring these caves, having a look around if you've got the time before you head back up the gondola.